In 1995, I was a newly hired intern in Nickelodeon Animation Studios. I got the chance to work very closely with Joe Murray, who is the creator of one of my favorite cartoons, Rocko's Modern Life. When I found out that I would be viewing the new episodes before they were aired, I was of course ecstatic. He told me that the plans for the upcoming episodes of the show and showed me some of the early sketches of the characters that the children of that era, along with myself and surely some parents, all had to come to know and love. The first few episodes I had screened were great, and I always bragged to my friends, who were also fans of the show. But then one day things seemed a bit off. Joe looked exhausted and hurriedly handed me the tape before going home, claiming to have feel sick. I shrugged it off and put the tape in the VCR, wondering what shenanigans Rocko and his friends would get into this time. But when the title card came up, I was shocked to say the least. The title card read, Filbert's Funeral. It had Rocko and Heifer were huddled over by the shell of lovably awkward turtle. His shell had been several scratches and was stained with blood. The episode itself started with Rocko sitting on the couch in the middle of the living room, which was unusually messy and swarming with flies. Spunky was slowly walking across the living room, looking unusually thin, weakly barking at Rocko that there was no sound but soft static noise, and instead of the usual perky pastel colors, the overly vivid hues blend together, giving everything morbid, chaotic look. The silence continued until the episode was about a minute in, but the broken when the phone rang in a distorted tone. Hello? Rocko asked in an unnerving, monotonous voice. The soft of a sound of another voice could be heard on the other line, and for a single frame an image appeared, but it was gone before I could get a good look. Yes, I understand. Tuesday at 3. Right. He said on the same tone before hanging up. The camera zoomed in on the show on his face in disturbing detail, and he silently mouthed out the words, Filbert, before starting to cry. The image flashed again, and already my heavy heart skipped a beat when I saw who it was. Filbert was drawn in a hyperrealistic manner. His eyes were gone, blood oozing from the deep scratches on his fly and maggot-ridden face. Rocko started screaming Filbert's name, and the word was getting louder and louder with each cry. Heifer then entered, in his usual happy manner. Hey, Rock, what? His sentence ended abruptly, and he looked at Rocko for maybe 30 seconds in silence, then directly at the camera for the next 30. Rocko coldly said, Filbert's dead. Heifer then went into hysterics, but not in the normal cartoonish way of his. His sounded generally pained, and it was hurting me to see this, to hear the beloved characters in this horrible state. The screen faded to black and soon cut to the inside of the funeral home. The characters were all inside sobbing, and the sounds of them all filling the screening room. It zoomed in on the same shot of Filbert and then stayed there for the remainder of the video. After seeing this, I sat in shock for a moment before getting violently sick. This episode was fortunately never aired, but it still haunts my dreams to this day. And that, my pretties, was Filbert's Funeral, a Rocko's Modern Life creepypasta. My final thoughts on the story? Well, I haven't narrated a Rocko's Modern Life creepypasta, so yeah, I definitely do have to say this was not that good. I'm definitely just going to sit here and say right now that this was just not that good. I mean, to be brutally honest, the concept of it just didn't work out, and it's just extremely cliche. That's literally one of the things I can describe it as, is that it's just extremely cliche. Like, it's just cliched, it just didn't help. The concept of it could have been better, but instead, that was just not the case with this story, and this story just went downhill from there. Like, it's just, the whole thing was entirely cliched, and the grammar was alright, I will give it that, but everything about it was just not that good. That's literally, I can definitely say, was that the story was not good of its own self. Now, I did find this on the Wayback Machine, so I'll leave a link in the description for this story, so if you guys want to go check it out, you can. But this story was just really disappointing. And that's unfortunate that it happened. It's just so disappointing, and it just was cliched. Like, why did Filbert die? Like, why did he die? I'm generally curious. Like, why did he die? There's no explanation as to why he died. But I really would have wished that there was a good explanation for why he died, but instead, he just dies. There's no explanation as to why he died, why was he killed off. There's no explanation of that. And it's just unfortunate because it just I I don't understand why that was the case with this story. I mean, the story could have had potential to be good, and this story could have been good. Or the story could have had a decent concept, but and instead, that's not the case. The story was just not that good. I'm definitely gonna say right now that this story was just not really that good. Now, I definitely have to say it's utterly cliched, and why doesn't it always end with a character dying? Like, why do these lost episodes have to contain a character dying? Like, there is literally no explanation for this. There just isn't. So, that is just. Oh my god. My brain is melted right now, just reading this story. Why do I keep doing these? I don't know. I generally don't know. I should stop doing them, but at the same time, I'm gonna do them because you guys like to hear the stories. So, yeah. Man, the story was not good. I'm being brutally honest. This story could have had a really good concept, but unfortunately, that's not the case for this. This story was just, yeah. The grammar was alright, but at the same time, there was grammatical errors with the story, and it definitely really didn't help matters, and it just wasn't that good. That's what I can say. It's like your typical lost episode creepypasta. And it definitely didn't help. The story was just not good. The story it's just garbage. That's literally all I can really say was that it's just garbage. Like absolutely garbage. Like why? Just why? Like the story could have had a potential to be good, but instead, it just flats out not sitting there and doing that. It just went downhill. That's literally all I can really do. Was that it just went downhill. That's all it is. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna sit here and say right now that, I will say I can understand the person trying to make something original, but unfortunately it didn't exist with this story. So, yeah, I'm just gonna sit here and say right now, to the author of this story, I can't seem to find out who you are, but if you do happen to find out who you are, please let me know who you are in the comment section of my videos if you do happen to stumble across this video. I'm not saying you will, but it's hard to say. If you do happen to stumble across this video, let me know who you are so I can, give you proper credit. Anyways, like I'm always gonna say, and like I always continue to say, this is just simply my own personal opinion, and if you happen to disagree with it, that's perfectly fine too. We're all entitled to our own opinions regards to these creepypastas. It's just simply my own personal thoughts. My final rating, 4 out of 10. I can definitely see that the person did try to come up with something new, but it's just, there was no explanation for Filbert of why he died. There's no explanation for any of it. The story was cliched. There was grammatical errors and punctuation errors that I did notice, but that's just it. I don't know if there's anything else I'm missing, but maybe you guys can let me know. I do remember seeing Gory Parody's narration of this, so yeah. I mean, it's nostalgic, but still. This story was not that good. I mean, I'm just gonna say, I will give it credit when credit is due, and at least it did try to come up with something new, but it just went cliched, and it just was a cliched mess. So, like I'm always gonna say, this is just simply my own opinion. If you disagree with it, that's perfectly fine too. Now, anyways, with that being the case and with that being said, what did you guys personally think of this creepypasta? Did you all enjoy it? Did you all not? Also, what you have done personally to help make this story a lot better? Feel free to let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section down below. I'm Shadow the Lion Queen. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and if you enjoy this channel, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Ring the bell for notifications when I upload, so that way you guys will not miss an upload. As always, if you guys want to go follow me on Blue Sky, follow me on Twitter, follow me on DeviantArt, as well as follow me on my backup channel known as Mr. Shigo, as links to those will be in the About page section, so you guys can go follow me on there if you want. And as always, I'll catch you guys all in the next video. Peace out, and like always, roll the outro, because I'm out.
What's up, my pretties? It's the Lion Queen here. I want to appreciate you all for tuning into this video, and I do appreciate you guys supporting my video by giving this video likes and stuff. If you really enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe if you're new, ring the bell for notifications to when I upload so that way you guys will get updated for whenever I upload. If you want to follow me on Twitter or DeviantArt, feel free to leave a follow on those if you are interested in following me on those socials. If you want to support my backup channel, known as Ms. Dark Shigo, feel free to subscribe to it, as a link to that will also be in the About page section. And with that being said, and that being the case, thank you so much for watching, my pretties, and as always, please stay pretty.